Wherever we look in the world, we see signs of poverty. Poverty in the industrialized West, and even more poverty in the developing world. Poverty is one of the biggest challenges facing the world. About 1.1 billion people in the world today live in extreme poverty. They struggle daily to find resources to meet their most basic survival needs. Many don't have access to clean water, leaving them vulnerable to potentially fatal diseases. More than 2 billion people don't have access to adequate sanitation. Every day, 30,000 children die because of preventable diseases. It would be easy to despair when we see how much inequality, pain and poverty there is in the world of today. Yet together, we can make a difference. The Adventist Development and Relief Agency is working around the world to end poverty. With your help, we aim to continue to be on the forefront of providing relief in emergencies and helping communities develop to escape the cycle of poverty. Let us show you some of the projects ADRA-UK is featuring in 2007.
Madagascar is the world's fourth biggest island. While rich in natural beauty, it is estimated that 70% of Malagasy live on less than 75 pence per day. With support from the European Commission, ADRA is working in one of the poorest rural areas of the island. One of the ways in which they are trying to reduce poverty here is through improved rice production. Rice is the staple food in Madagascar, and yet at the moment the country can only grow 60% of its own needs. Rice is grown, harvested and dried, but the main reason there is not enough rice produced to meet demand is because of poor farming methods. Most farmers use a scatter seed method of growing rice, overcrowding the rice paddies and making it impossible to weed. ADRA is teaching farmers that by using new methods, they can improve their crops. Instead of scatter seeding their fields, farmers are taught to plant seedlings in neat rows 20 centimeters apart. With a cheap weeding tool, also developed by ADRA, they can then weed frequently in between the rows. When the rice is ready for harvest, this new method increases crops by 400%. This means people not only have enough rice to eat, but also surplus rice to sell. This helps to generate income. This is one way to break the cycle of poverty. Togo, a narrow strip of land on Africa's west coast, is one of the most densely populated countries in West Africa. It is also one of the poorest countries in Africa. Most people have only limited access to basic health and educational facilities. Water supplies and sanitation facilities are either non-existent or greatly stressed. Wells are the most important source of water for a rural family. They improve the health of families, reduce disease, and aid in agricultural production. More people die from the lack of availability of safe water to drink than the lack of food. ADRA is working to help to change the situation. With your help, ADRA plans to increase access to clean drinking water for people in 9 villages of the Yoto prefecture. New boreholes will provide access to clean water. ADRA will also provide instruction to improve women and girls' knowledge on health and sanitation. Sudan is the largest and one of the most diverse countries in Africa, home to deserts, mountain ranges, swamps and rainforests. The south of Sudan is one of the poorest places in the world, just recovering from a 21-year-long civil war. Education is important to help people escape from poverty. ADRA is working with the Department for International Development to increase the number of girls enrolled in schools in South Sudan. Normally, girls are taken out of school early on to work the land or to be given in marriage. ADRA has established volunteer groups in the community that promote the value of girls' education. They talk to parents, meet with local leaders, and organize events to raise awareness. This has resulted in a significant increase in enrollment of girls in schools. The volunteers are also sewing and selling school uniforms to raise money for girls' education. This is a positive step forward in a country that has one of the lowest literacy rates in the world. Peru is a country rich in history and culture, but one where domestic violence and limited access to education and health services are affecting women and children in the poor areas of the country. ADRA is working here to strengthen families. Because of poverty, parents often have no choice but to send their children to work on the streets, selling flowers or newspapers. ADRA is working to change the awareness and attitudes towards child labour. ADRA is also helping local women to increase family income by, for instance, making and selling sweets. When family income improves, children can stay in school and enjoy education and childhood. ADRA has also established local community counselling centres where over 11,000 men and women have learned about women and children's rights, domestic violence, and the skills of conflict resolution. In addition, ADRA is organising public marches, debates, and art and song festivals where young people demonstrate their understanding of peace and human rights. Lives are changing. Thousands of people have been reached. Important changes in attitudes towards family conflict and women's rights are taking place, and the numbers of working children have decreased. As the family grows stronger, so does their ability to escape from the cycle of poverty.
To help us continue these and other new projects, ADRA-UK is asking you again to help raise funds in 2007. Your support is of vital importance for our work. There are many different ways you can help. Why not sponsor a specific project? Make a monthly donation by standing order. Adopt a project as a church group or family. Organise or take part in a sponsored event. And more traditionally, donate time to collect door-to-door during our annual appeal. It's only with your help that we can plan to provide relief when disasters strike and continue to help communities develop to escape the cycle of poverty. Thank you for your financial support to continue to do this. ADRA will continue to show faith in action. Thank you for planning to help ADRA to raise the funds needed to work to make a difference.